All right. If there's any places you'd like to visit today through Google Earth or Maps, stick it in the chat box. We can go take a look.
All right, Donna, you're host, and we're live, so you're good to go.
Thank you. Thank you, Megan.
Welcome.
All righty. So I want to welcome everyone today. This is our Google Maps and Earth class. We're going to talk about using these tools to take a look around the world around us. These can be kind of fun to do. You never know what you're going to find either. And my name is Donna. I'm your guide today. I was in the IT industry for over 30 years. I enjoy helping people over their hurdles with learning technology. And we are Get Set Up. We're seniors teaching seniors about technology. If you'd like to get a copy of the recording of this class after the class, you can email help@getsetup.io. And we're not paid to promote Google Maps or Earth or anything like that. This is strictly just for fun. Today, we're going to show you how to search for locations through using Google Earth, and we'll do a little bit in Google Maps too. How to use Street View to walk down the streets, areas that you want to explore, and you can literally visit famous places from all over the world. All right. Now, has anyone ever searched virtually for a location using Maps or Earth? Has anyone done that already?
I do it through Maps, but I've never done it through Earth.
Yeah. I'll explain the differences between the two. Earth is kind of Maps. I don't know have you done it recently, Anne? Have you noticed that Maps is starting to show some 3D effects in Maps?
Yes.
A little disorienting though, the way it works.
I'm not good at virtual tours of anything. I just can't get myself oriented.
Yeah, I think eventually what's going to happen is Google Earth will probably go away, and I think Maps is just going to be everything. I think that's probably where they're headed. At least that's what it looks like. Anyone else have done this before? All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. First, we'll show you a little intro of Earth, Google Earth. It's just earth.google.com. I'll send you a link. At the end of this class, you'll get an email. You can check this out. This is what it looks like when you start. It just shows the Earth. I'm going to go to the left side of the screen. There is a menu on the left. You can click on this menu. And these will give you features. You can search. All these features actually are also, when this map is closed in, these same features are over here on the left, pretty much. The only difference here is you have settings. You can go into your settings to make adjustments to your maps if you want to. The big setting is probably the animation speed, how fast it moves. So when we go to the top here, we've got the search. If I click on search, this is where I can search anywhere I want to go in the world. Just type it in and you can search. The next button below, this is Voyager, they call it. It brings up another screen. It looks like you can follow. That's kind of old, the 2020 torch. Now, some of this Voyager I've noticed is not getting updated. So some areas may work or some may not. But you can go to different features they have here. They have national parks, mapping London's air pollution, anything having to do with the Earth, visiting Yellowstone. Mars on Earth, cherry blossoms around the world. You can come and you can click on any of these and check out. Ice and snow from space. That's interesting. You can come in here and just click on these just to explore. That's all this is. It's kind of a explore area. That's the Voyager. And below the Voyager is I'm feeling lucky. You know what that is? It's a roll of the dice. It's going to take you somewhere. Just be aware, there's a lot of mountaintops that you'll end up, a lot of mountaintops that they take you to. And then this button down here on the left, this is projects. You could, if you find a spot you like, you can save that location and you can put it in a project that you have. So if you're planning trips or something like that, similar to what you can do in Google Maps also, where you can save areas for later on, especially if you're in a particular area and you want to save that spot and go back to it later. And then this other button here on farther down looks like two pieces of paper or two squares on top of each other. This is your map style. You can choose what you see. You can do clean, no borders, labels, nothing. Just so that would be a really hard one to do because you don't really know where you are. And so it's nice to have some labels. You can do an exploration label. This has borders, labels, places, and roads. Then there's everything, which will have everything. Transit, landmarks, water, they show the whole thing. And you can customize. You can come in here and you can customize what you want to see. If I click on customize, clouds, maybe you don't want to see clouds, you can take them out. So you can check what you don't want to see. So that's what that is here on the under map style. It also takes a little bit of resources on your computer, this Google Earth, so you might want to shut down some things if you start having issues with it. There's a little ruler, the last little icon on the left side here. This is a place where you can measure distances from one point to another. You select a starting point and then an ending point, and it will tell you, and you can put it in the distances. You can select kilometers, miles, however you want your measurement, and it will give you an idea of how far away items are on a map, which is handy when you're way out in the middle of the nowhere and you're just wondering how big is this area that you're looking at. All right. And then the questions so far, does anyone have? All right, let's see what Marco Island, Florida. Let's see what shows up. I'm going to put this in the search here. See what we have. Oh, it's a barrier island in the Gulf of Mexico off Southwest Florida. So you see the area it's coming in now. They'll give you this little information on the right side. You can add it. They have a button right here, add to project. So let's say this is an area you're definitely going to come back to. You can quickly just put it into your projects. They have another little point down here, points of interest in Marco Island. You can click on this to see any points of interest that people go to, Tiger Tail Beach, and then you can go there. So you can go back and forth. So let's take a look at this. I'm just going to zoom in with my mouse a little bit. Looks nice here. What's the temperature today? Is someone from Marco Island?
No, I asked for it because we just reserved some time in Marco next winter.
Oh, so you want to check out your where you're staying?
Yeah.
This looks nice. Look at all the there's all the water here, all the houses here, the beach. And they said it's an island, so here's the water coming through here. You got a bridge right here. There's a estuary research area up here in the corner. Now, on the right side of our screen, I want to show you some navigation here. If I hit that big globe in the lower right-hand corner, it pulls you back out to the Earth part. So the key thing here when you're searching around is if you hit that, hit it again, otherwise you'll be back at the Earth. If you want to just pan out a little bit, this will move kind of quickly on you if you hit it here. You will notice 3D. Now, right now, we're looking at this in 2D. Okay. Now, if I click this 3D button on the right here, this is going to tilt it a little bit because now we're looking at things in a 3D motion and it kind of goes in a circle. I'm going to just zoom in a little bit here. Let's see what the beach looks like. Kind of scroll in to see. I imagine these are hotels on the beach. You can see what it looks like. It'll take a little while to render with this, to have it focus in on the buildings. I can also do a little flyover. If you hold down your shift key on your keyboard, and then you move the arrow keys up and down, like I can go this way with my up arrow, and I can tilt down like this. You can kind of see a little bit of the area, the horizon.
Donna, what if you're on an iPad? How do you zoom?
Ooh, that's a good question. You would zoom in with your fingers. You would just put your fingers on the iPad and pull out with your fingers to, zoom in. And then to zoom out, you would come in with your fingers, pinch to go in and out.
Huh.
You can see the nice, a little bit what the beach area looks like. A lot of water around here. I see palm trees.
Can you get closer or read a house number?
Now that's Now I would say maps would probably be good for that. It does take a little bit of rendering for the Google Earth, but one thing I do like about Google Earth is you can pan and fly over a lot easier. Like let's go a little bit lower. Then you can kind of just fly right over.
So, Donna, if you're
Look
looking
at this area.
question,
Huh?
if you're looking for a specific address, house, do you use maps or Earth?
I would use maps. Like, let's go to maps, for instance. Let's take a look at what maps looks like. Oops, be nice if I went to the right place. All right, so here's maps, for instance. I was looking at Paris. So I'm in Paris right now with maps. And the same thing, you have your menu on the left here opens up. It's going to show you the location you're in, but I can go to this main menu here, and you're going to see things like terrain. Like if right now I'm on satellite, if I just go map, it's going to just show you a map. Let's see. It's going to switch over, just a map. Go back to the menu. If I hit satellite, that's going to be the satellite. You're getting the satellite imagery. And then if I do terrain's going to show you how hilly things are. You're going to see if there's any hills, that type of thing. It's going to show it more. Like you can see a little bit here. There's some hills here. They'll just show up. It's more of a topology map here. And I'll leave that on satellite. You can do things, since this is Google Maps, you have things like traffic. You can click here and see where the red is. Like now, this is real time. Now, Earth is not necessarily real time because it is through satellite, but it's updated at certain time. Google Maps, though, is going to be pretty up to date because this is showing the traffic jams in Paris. So you can do traffic, you can do transit, if you're looking at transit, biking paths, street view. We're going to talk a lot about that today. And then, of course, you can, save your locations, that type of thing. I have a Google Maps class where we talk a lot about navigation that I would recommend taking. So the big thing with when you're looking at maps is when I look on the right side of the screen here, I've got a 3D. They do have a tilt. So if I do click on that 3D button on the right corner, it will do a little tilt. You can zoom in with your mouse. I'm just zooming in with the trackball on my mouse to see some of Paris here. It's got to render a little bit. I think the 3D part of maps is still a little bit in beta. It seems to be. It doesn't render that quickly. But the cool thing is the street view. I'm going to go back to 2D. When you click on the little yellow person in the far lower right-hand corner, you see this yellow person standing here. If I click on that, all the streets that have been mapped by Google show up here. You'll see the blue lines. There they go. There's going to be a lot of them. So you can come in here and just pick a spot. This kind of looks interesting right here. And all I have to do is, let's say I want to stand right here. I'm just going to double click. And I'm going to be shown the area. Oh, nice little bistro. So this is a street in Paris. You can walk down the street. You see the little arrows, I just click ahead and I can walk down the street, take a look. If I want to go back, I'm going to hit the back button in the upper left-hand corner here to go back out. Let's find another street. When we get to the more famous places, you're going to see when I click on the blue lines, when they come up, you're going to see these little circles, these little dots all over the place. When you're using Google Maps, there's a contribute button. You can add your picture. If you're traveling somewhere and you take a picture and you think it's a cool picture, you can add it, upload it to Google. If they like it, they'll put you on the map. So you can see these people here. Look at all these little bubbles. I'm going to just click on one of these. Let's click on this one right here and see what it is. They'll have the name of the person. Here's Nicole L. in the upper left-hand corner here. You can see the person's name. This was taken April 2018 by the Eiffel Tower. So they're standing right here, taking the picture, and you can do a whole 360 view. Now, when it's someone's taken the picture, I just clicked on one of those blue dots. When someone takes the picture, I can't move around like I can Google Maps. It's just a 360 picture. I can't move out of this frame, but I can definitely zoom in. Yeah, I can zoom into the tower here. They didn't focus too well on the top of that tower. But then you can see a little bit of what the grounds look like here. All the people taking their pictures. Has anyone been to the Eiffel Tower?
Yes, I have.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Have you stood in this grass?
No, I'm at the other side.
You're on the other side. Okay, this is, yeah. So that's what happens when you click on the blue bubbles. The blue bubbles, though, are really handy because sometimes they're on top of buildings. So it could be your only way to see the inside of a certain building is if someone took a picture when they were inside and Google included it. So you can look for all these little blue dots. And again, you know, some of them, sometimes you'll see them on the roof of a building. You can look around. Now, if I click on something Google Maps has gone down, let me click down again next to the Eiffel Tower here. Click onto the road. Now, this is Google. You see it says Google in the left-hand corner. So now you know this is Google doing this. Okay. I'm on the street. This is a street view. Where it says street view, if you click on this in the upper left-hand corner. Oh, wait a minute. No, this is a person. Sorry. This is, no, let me see. Yeah, okay. It's Google. Sorry. When you click on that street view, you will see how many different times in the recent years Google has driven down this street. So here's 2008. They show you a picture in 2008. And then the next one is 2014. You'll see the cars are changing. So you can see a time lapse. 2015, they were there. Isn't that funny? Wait a minute, 2015. That same person parks right there. Do you see that? That's pretty funny. They got caught twice on the Google camera. 2017, there it is. No one's parking right there. And then you have 2018, and then 2020 was the last time in August that they came by. So you can look ahead. You can see what pictures were in the past. Now, since this was done by Google, I've got my arrows. See my arrows here in the middle? I can move around now. Let me take a look what's behind me here. Someone lost their shopping cart. Let me click here. I can click ahead. Yeah, look at beautiful buildings. So you literally can just walk down these streets. You can just go ahead, click ahead, and just walk down. You can do this anywhere in the world. It's really fun to do. Just to kind of explore. If you have of course, on the map, you can look up. You can go back to map view if you're wondering where you are, what landmarks are in the area. All right, this was 55th Ave. So I'm going to pull back out again. Anyone have any questions?
Seen inside a museum?
Yes, I do.
Uh-huh.
Are they, with all the demolition and street name changes, are they constantly upgrading? I mean, this is a big, big world.
Yeah. If you're in a real rural area, you might just see Google's car or truck, whatever it is. You might only see them once every 3, 4, or 5 years. But like here in Paris, these streets are going to get a lot more frequently every few years, or even more often. You'll see Google coming by because there's always changes.
Man, they must have a serious team navigating.
Oh, you mean trying to drive? I know someone has to drive up and down all these streets.
Oh my goodness. It's amazing.
It's amazing. It really is amazing. All those people driving around and going in and out of buildings. It's amazing.
Oh my goodness.
So let's take a look. All right.
Anna?
So question?
Can you see inside a museum?
You can on some of them. I do a museum class. I don't know. Some of you I know have taken it. There's Google Arts and Culture app, which I think, I have it open right here, where Google has gone up and down the halls of 2,000 museums in the world. So you can go and explore inside museums. So here's the Eiffel Tower right here. Let's zoom in a little bit on this. Actually, I want to go. Let's go back over here to our Google Earth. We can do some flying over Paris. All right, we'll give that a second to render in, and let's head over. That was another spot some people were talking about here. Oh, Thailand. Let's check this one out. Ooh, look at that bridge.
I live there, and
Did you?
Yes, I retired there. I've been there 10 years. The
Oh.
thing is, I thought might be interesting to people is that in the old city, we have a moat,
Mm-hmm.
a square. And so the old city is within it, and the moat right there, the square.
Oh, this square. Okay, let me.
Protection. Yeah, it was
Oh,
a
look at that.
protection. You see. Okay, so the square is the old city.
Okay, so all this is the moat.
The black square around it is water. It's a
Oh,
moat.
really?
An existing moat. Yeah, where you have your gates in the
Mhm.
middle of each of the side squares and so on, and a lot of temples. It's a 700-year-old city, bit more than
Right.
that. And so
Yeah, you
there,
can see the
and
water
it's-
coming here.
Yeah, right. And it's a
Oh,
religious, initially,
Uh-huh.
a religious city, and so a lot of temples. So anyway,
wow.
I'm very interested in going down the streets. This will be so much fun.
Where
Because
would you
I'm-
suggest we go down the streets? Because it's a big city. I'm lost already.
Well, I mean, within the moat is the
within
most
the moat.
interesting stuff. So in the middle, kind of up a bit, is something called Three Kings Monument.
Three
Or a
Kings.
Wat.
Monument.
Maybe somebody would prefer a Wat. The Three Kings is a tribute to the three kings of Chiang Mai's king and
Mhm.
two neighboring kingdoms that stopped fighting each other and joined up to fight the Burmese, who
Oh,
were
okay.
in the city, in that part of the country for over 300 years. So in order to get rid of them, they joined forces and expelled them.
Oh, wow. Now, do you have any idea? Is it this here?
No, that is Wat Chetty Luong, and that was much taller. We don't know how much taller until an earthquake about 400 or so years ago sheared off the top.
Ooh.
So you're looking at kind of a tree stump looking from above in a square, not a
Mhm.
moat, just a protective area. But when you clicked on it, it showed another picture of it. Well, that's the top. Well, this is the area. And yeah, there you go.
So this is it right here, and you don't know.
Yes,
Oh, look at the
right.
elephants. Look at that.
Yeah, well, the square that's around that is temple grounds. So
Mhm.
there are little streets. There's other parts of temples that are more modern. Place to sit and meditate right there.
Mhm. Nice. It's
This is a
beautiful.
wonderful temple, one of the best, in my opinion, from that era.
Right. Let's see what else is here.
That would be the monks' hall. People are going to school there, training for the monkhood, but also other
Oh,
things. That
okay.
is a stupa where ashes of a famous abbot or saint is within there,
Ah.
like a grave marker.
Mm.
I'm loving this. I did not know.
Fascinating. I love that we have a tour guide here.
I did not know. I'm so excited. So,
Oh, look
anyway.
at this. This is fascinating. Look at that.
That is a special shrine-like area to a particular abbot that is also considered a saint as far as Theravada Buddhism is concerned.
Right. So about how old do you think this thing is?
That one probably was, he died in the late 30s, and I would think it would 1930s. So it's probably around that time, but that's a tile
See the
roof and
detail.
wooden teak.
Yeah.
And so it's aged because we do have quite a climate up there.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Very nice.
This is fun. Thank you so much.
Yeah. It's nice to get a little tour. And, when you're looking at now on Google Earth, you don't get quite the information that you do on maps. But when you go to a place like this, you can just scroll down the left here. You can get facts about it. Of course, they show you hotels and that kind of stuff. But you can see all the photos. If I click here on photos, it should show me a slideshow of some of the photos. Look at that. Would that be a temple? Is that where they buried someone?
Those are containing the ashes of someone.
Wow. Now this must have been a very important person right here.
Indeed, but also because the Burmese were there so long, you have different styles of temples, and that would be like a Bangkok style, a real Thai style.
Oh, look at that. That's at night.
Yeah,
beautiful.
That's how great it is, really.
There's another one.
Yes.
Wow. This is very interesting.
That would be like the library called an Ubasat. So it floods because not just the moat, we have a big river running by, and it floods the city quite a bit. So your scrolls and certain items are upstairs.
Yeah.
See, it's
so that's why it's up.
Yeah.
Now, is this like a cemetery or something?
Yes, but that's a royal cemetery. Those were the ashes of that part of Thailand. And in fact, many sections of Thailand in the old days were kingdoms. And so these are the royalty of the Minrai dynasty. And they were, it's by a Wat. Wat Suandak, you see down here on the bottom left square. They call it the sun. Yeah, they call it the sunset Wat because people can take all their pictures and there's no condos. You can take a picture of the condo of the sunset and the beautiful surroundings. Where otherwise you see a lot of the temples are pretty crowded up now.
Right.
One that we went to was quite large because it's so historical. Oh, yeah. So
these are pretty.
Very, very, very nice. This was the winter residence of the former king's mother.
Oh, okay.
And then this is, and then you just went to, that's up in the
falls.
hills. Yeah, we're at the base of some mountains. So much cooler up there for the summer.
Right, yeah.
And this is another famous temple.
Oh.
And there are so many because it has such a history.
It's gorgeous. This is really beautiful. And this is all within that square. That's all in the...
All of this that you're showing except the mountain view.
Right.
That's up in the hills. But this is all within that square, but there are many other temples outside the square. These are just the oldest. Because that was the original city.
And there's another one. Oh, beautiful. So you can get this little slideshow just by clicking on the photos that they show, and they
go in there.
They show you all the different different sites here, a lot of the temples.
Exactly. But there's other things. There's a lot of charm, but there's stuff like that. See, you're looking at one of the major gates to enter the old city, and you got
the old wall.
It, which also, but the hotel has a Burger King,
Well, of course. It's called Progress.
Yeah. So it's not all scenic.
We leave our stamp everywhere. Got to put those Burger Kings in there. There's probably a McDonald's on the other side.
On the other side of the moat, actually, not in the old city. I don't know how they got Burger King over there, but they did. So that's the old city you're going into. Right here. Behind that wall.
Behind the wall.
Other side, there's the moat, and then the other side of the moat, yes, there is a McDonald's and a Starbucks.
That's pretty funny. Oh my God. Well, thank you. That was very nice.
It's fun for me. Thank you.
Yeah. So, any city, you just look for your little yellow person to find out the streets. So like right now it's showing all the different streets. So if we want to go outside the old city. If we, let's say we would just want to click on anything here. We'll just click on a street here. Take a look at what's here. Real narrow street. We're in a neighborhood here. Almost in someone's backyard, it looks like. But you can go here and click, walk around, take a look at the area. And again, just click ahead. Well, it's not letting me click ahead, so that might be the end of the road there. Oh, they must have turned down this street. So you can come and just walk around. All right, good stuff. All right, what else do we have here? When I'm zooming in, I'm usually zooming in with the little ball on my mouse, rolling it in and out with my finger to zoom in and out. And left and right, I'm using my arrow keys on my keyboard. It's a little bit easier to do the left and right that way. Sometimes I'll drag the screen and move it. Yeah, we're navigating around. Oh, yes, let's do a flyover. Let's go back to Google Earth. I was giving it a little chance to load up, and we can do, where are we? Trying to remember where we were. Oh, this was in France. We're in Paris. See, we're lost already.
How do you do
All right.
a flyover?
Yeah, so to do a flyover, what I'll do, I think we're actually at, this is Notre Dame. Okay, I'm going to scroll in a little bit. Maybe not quite that much. And I'm going to go to 3D, let it tilt. Okay, and it kind of, when you go to 3D, it moves on its own. You can see I'm circling Notre Dame right now. But you can stop it by just clicking on the screen, it'll stop. So I can scroll in a little bit. So now I'm scrolled in. This is a pretty good height. So now to make adjustments. If I press down the shift key on my keyboard, if I click my up arrow while holding the shift, it tilts down like this. If I do the down arrow while I'm holding down my shift, I'm going to shift up. Okay. So you can get whatever angle you want to be at. And at this point, I think this is a pretty good angle. You could do a flyover where you just move your mouse, not your mouse. I'm just going to move my arrow key forward. So you can come up to Notre Dame. You can fly over it. We can just do a little flying around the city. Now, if I move my right arrow at this point, I can move to the left a little bit if I want to move over. You can just take a look at the city here. If I want to tilt up a little bit more, I'm going to hold down my shift key and the down arrow. If I want to see more of the horizon of the city, I can do that. It's quite a big city. A lot of little rivers coming through. And you'll see from time to time, you'll see the famous museums and stuff. I have all the labels on, so the labels are going to be showing up as I move around. If I want to go backwards, I'm just going to do my down arrow and just fly over this way, going backwards. You can fly this way.
Are there countries that haven't been mapped out, or
There will be, like, for fun, let's go to I'm Feeling Lucky. We'll end up somewhere. Okay, so on the left side of the screen here, you'll see I'm Feeling Lucky. So I'm just going to click on this and we're just going to see where we end up. Oh, well, that wasn't too bad. Boy, usually it's the middle of nowhere. Oh, we're at the zoo in Belgium. That's a surprise. Has anyone been to Belgium?
Yes.
Yep.
But not the zoo. Yes, but not
You
the
haven't
zoo.
been to the zoo? Well, here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are. The Antwerp Zoo. It's let's see. It says it's the oldest, and they have a Wikipedia here. It's the oldest animal park and then you can go to Wikipedia if you want to see that. So here's the zoo. It's right in the middle of the city here. Let's pan out. I mean, this is Belgium. Let's take a look at this.
Is that perhaps a train station where you can arrive at the
You know,
zoo?
it looks like it, doesn't it? Yeah, those are
it's
train.
like
Those are
railroad
train.
tracks into that building.
Yep.
So
There's a nice old train station right here.
nice building.
This building is pretty.
Yeah.
Let's get a little look here of this building. Look at that building. Beautiful. Kind of look at it a little bit here. So the zoo is over here. I wonder if they've actually put any walkthroughs in the zoo. I'm gonna on the lower right hand corner of the screen, the little person. Click on them just to see if there's any. Now there's pictures. You see the dots, the little blue dots are showing up. So you can come in here and it doesn't look like Google has actually driven in. Well, they wouldn't drive into the zoo, I don't think. But looks like there's pictures. So let's click on this little blue bubble right here, just see what it is. All right, there we go. Sometimes you have to click on it a few times to get it just right. All right, in the upper, let's see. Oh, down in the lower left, Thomas Miklavjits. I don't know how to say his name, but that's the person. Thank you.
Hello?
Thank you, Tomas, for taking the picture. So this is in the zoo. You can see a little bit what the zoo looks like here. Oh, look at, yeah, and there's the train station. It's really a pretty building. It looks like you can just get off the train right here and come right into the zoo.
So they don't black out people's faces, it looks like. You can zoom in and see them pretty clear. Is that
Sometimes
correct?
sometimes you see people's faces blocked out like that. Yeah, she's not blocked out. I think sometimes people complain. I know when I'm looking like a real hot mess, my hair's all crazy and everything, and I decide to go to I'm in San Francisco, and I decide to go to this corner store just for some milk or something. That darn Google car is always driving down the street. I mean, I have a lot. I have a good 10 pictures I probably would love to have off Google Maps.
I wonder if you can find yourself on Google Photos.
It's funny because I thought about that. Of course, then I forget about it. I think, oh, I should see if what my photo looks like. Of course, I know it looks terrible, but yeah. So this is the zoo.
What
Go ahead.
time? What time of the day is it there?
Oh, in San Francisco, it's 1:15.
No, in Antwerp.
I don't know. Belgium, that's going to be at least 9 hours. Well, it's 9 hours from my time, I would say. It's like 10 something, 10, 16 at night, something like that, probably.
So Donna, on Google Maps, usually you can see a date at the bottom, but I don't see a date for Google Earth.
Yeah, they
When
don't
this was
usually show
taken.
it. Right.
So you don't know how old that picture is.
Right. Because these are coming from the satellites. Whereas when you're doing the streets in Google Earth, once you do Street View, they're actually using Google Maps for the Street View part. That's why these two programs are very, very closely linked to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're going to become one. I think that's what's happening. I think they're going to become one at some point.
Donna, in Holland, there's a very famous park that is just full of tulips when they're in bloom. I can't think of the name of it. Maybe somebody else knows the name of it, but it is a real sight for tourists.
Do you know the name of it?
Now I can't remember it, but I've been there.
All right, let's see. Someone else wants Morocco. Oh, that's a good one. Morocco, North Africa. Let's see what that's like. All righty, Morocco, right by the ocean. And then the Tenerife Islands here. I'm going to zoom in. Has anyone been to Morocco? Wait, they're really in the mountains, it looks like. Quite rough terrain.
I was in, I think it was Casablanca as a child on the ocean.
Uh-huh. I thought Morocco was on the ocean side, though.
Mostly inside.
Yeah.
I mean, closer to the ocean. Let me look in the...
Depends on how large it is.
Oh, my God. Morocco. All right. That looks better. Earth had me over on the other side of the mountain. It looked a little odd. Okay, here we go. So someone said they've been to Casablanca? That actually sounds like fun. Let's go.
So this is side. Okay.
Here we go.
Okay.
Wow, it's a big city.
Yeah.
You can really see there's a lot of people living here. All right. See the water here. Let's just take a look. Let's see what some of these photos are. Oh, here we go. Oh. That I want to go down to. That's down by the water. So who said they've been to Morocco? I mean, Casablanca?
I had as a young child.
Oh, okay. Showing you some pictures.
I remember the spice markets and the bread baking and the mosque and the ocean. But I couldn't tell you where it was.
Look at that. That's beautiful. Oh, that's beautiful too.
Oh, that's true.
Now, let's see. Let's get back out here. Back to the map.
What about Dubai?
Dubai, yeah.
Dubai's on the other side.
Yeah, Dubai's over.
It's on the other side.
Get back over here. Casablanca. Right in here. Let's go by the water. Let's see where the beaches were. Let's see what we have here. Oh, that's interesting. When I clicked on the yellow, oh, well, that's the first time I've seen that. Were they not allowed to drive through the city? If I click on one of these. All right, let me try that again. Do you see that? There's no blue lines, but they have these little markers. So let's see. I'm going to drag the little yellow man. You see, I've got him by the head. And if I drop him, is it going to let me? Huh. Interesting. It doesn't look like Google was allowed in Casablanca. That's that happens. So you can only see it from afar, from the above, but you can do 3D. You can zoom in. Let's take a look at the beach area. Oh, sorry, I'm in the wrong one. We can do a beach flyover. All right, so there's the beach area here. Oh, I think that's the tempo down there, the little temple that they had. I'm going to click on 3D. And then we're going to get lower. I'm going to hold down my shift key, do my down arrow to lower down. Zoom in a little bit more so we can see. Unless they block. See, there they have mark. I was going to say, have they blocked out the satellite? Yeah, it seems a little hard to do this one. You have to have a little more patience to see what's happening, but definitely it looks like they didn't let Google do the streets, which is too bad. That's a pretty city. Anyways, we're getting close to the end here. Anyone have any last questions? I hope you enjoyed kind of messing with the tools today and looking around. We'll do one more. I feel lucky.
Donna.
Yeah.
Is Google Earth a program that you have to download?
You can do it right from your browser. Just go to Google Earth. Just search for it, click on it, and you what happens is I'll show you what happens. Here's the bridge that they brought us to here in Bangkok, Thailand. So again, you can just go and discover Thailand. Go up and down the streets, take a look at the famous things. I like using maps too because you get those pictures and they give you a little more information than Earth does sometimes. But they will say people also explore. If you click down here on the bottom right side, people will explore. They do show you some of the famous parts by hitting these arrow keys. You can slide through and see all the different features of the city that you're looking at. All right.
May I ask you one thing? This appears to just be picking up bridges. Did you do something to cause that, or did you go to a bridge and it said, "Oh, you like bridges? We'll go to another"?
Yeah. No. What happened was I did I'm feeling lucky, and it brought me to this bridge.
And then they recognize that, oh, you like a bridge, so here's another bridge, another bridge, another bridge. And
yeah, it looks like they're showing me all the bridges in Thailand.
Yeah.
Which, that might be interesting. That bridge is kind of interesting, the one right there. They go, oh, she likes bridges.
Yeah, that's so it's leading you there.
Yeah, so to go Google Earth, where I am right now, the URL, it's just earth.google.com. So you can just go into Earth. google.com, and there'll be a page that comes up. And from here, you can, they have information about Google Earth. You can explore the different, they have like tutorials that you can take a look at. And they, of course, you can download onto your iPhones and Androids. And then they have a Launch Earth. When you click Launch Earth, you're going to be in the Earth that I was in, that one there. So you just launch it. All righty. So go have some fun. You know, it's really nice for especially if you're going to travel, to see where your hotel is, the area that you're going to be walking down. You can really pre-plan when you're going to go travel. So you know for sure, like, I got to take a right turn when I get to that end of that street. You're not fumbling around. You already know what the buildings look like. So it can be definitely very handy for that type of thing. And it's fun just to go wander around different city. You know, if you think of a city you've never been to, well, go take a look at it in Earth and Maps and explore it a little bit. So I do have another class. I want to thank you. I have another class on Google Maps for navigation. If you're interested in learning how to navigate your phone when you're driving, walking. I have a virtual tour of San Francisco that you can try out. There, I have also a great Arctic adventure and famous art of the Vatican, other classes that you can try out on as far as virtual touring. You'll get notes from this class in your email, a feedback form for you to fill out feedback, and any other class suggestions you have, feel free to put them in there. And if you have a class you'd like to teach yourself, let us know. We'll set you up with a guide. We can get you going on a social hour if you'd like to meet more people in our community. And this session, again, is being recorded. You can request the recording at help@getsetup.io. And you may have noticed, if you've been with us for a while, our website has changed a lot in the past 2 weeks. If you'd like to learn more about how to navigate that new website, Marv has a class, Tips and Tricks on Navigating Get Setup's New Look. You can go in there and discover how to register for your classes, sign up, and all types of things through his class. They have this TV feature too now, so you can check that out. All right, everyone. Any last comments, questions? Hope you had fun today. I enjoyed, and then thanks for the tour guiding that we had earlier. That was really fascinating.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. Enjoy. Oh, good. I'm glad you like it. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Take care.
Thank you, and you too.
Yeah. Bye-bye.